So, this is slightly political, and so I hope there's a lot of people who, after they reach sort of the level of success that you've obviously reached, and they start doing these philanthropic sort of places, and it looks like you've kind of set it up quite nicely in the sense that you're involved in the angel network, which is the people who invest, and you're involved in the entrepreneurs who so you've got the compass and or the steering wheel and the horsepower, right? Mm-hmm. is ultimately what you have, and you're driving this forward, and you're pushing, and this is not something that it's easy to do really in government. Like ultimately, as a business person, one could argue that you have more power with what you've created here than you would as an MP, representing what other people think. Right?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I think what I've done and where I think my strengths are, it's two things. I think we talked about is being able to solve problems. I love getting into a problem and solving it. But the other thing is bringing people together. Ultimately, if you look at my career, even when I started Operitel, I brought 3 very smart partners together and a whole bunch of employees, and we built a company. It's been always about bringing different people that come from different backgrounds and different walks of life, and facilitating a way for them to work together. And ultimately, that's what government's job is to do. And so what do I think as an MP, what we're going to do is bring all sorts of like-minded and non-like-minded people together to solve a single problem. The single problem is, how do we make our community better? And so it's what we've seen with the Venture North building and the Innovation Cluster and Peterborough Economic Development and Community Futures and everything that's happening there. It's, no one group can take credit for any of it, because it's been a partnership of everybody, and the partnership isn't always easy. You're always keeping your hand on the till, kind of making sure that it keeps together. Everybody thinks it looks easy from the outside, but keeping partnerships together is tough. Bringing all the angels together is maintaining them and keeping them active and keeping them engaged and bringing entrepreneurs in. It's tough, but that's the job. And so ultimately, that's what I think a member of parliament does. Their job is to represent the community by bringing all sorts of different groups that have completely different philosophies, but ultimately all of those groups have one purpose, and their purpose is to make our community better. They just have different ways to do it. And so I think an MP needs to bring all those pieces together and be a good facilitator. And so I think it's what this community is lacking right now. I think we've got there's definitely some serious division amongst different groups, and I think we need somebody who's really going to bring it together, and that's what I'm hoping I can bring to the table.